Welcome to JB and Things, a podcast dedicated to talking about nothing on something that means everything. We discuss how we relate with the non-living things around us and how they affect our relationships with the people around us. Welcome again. Welcome to JB and Things, a podcast where we talk about nothing, something, and everything. Hi, I want to welcome you all. I'll introduce the host, JB, our favorite guy.
Hey, D, how are you?
I feel like I left out here.
Girl, I was gonna get to you.
Oh my God.
I can tell she's excited because of today's topic. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I knew you're back once again.
Thank
And,
you.
we can never do this without you.
Mm.
All right. And I'm here, Delapo, your humble co-host. Yeah.
Humble.
I want you to lead this off.
Yeah.
This is you, and I too. But I know this is what I can see. Your green, your smile, your ear to ear. Please, what is it about
I'm
today?
sure our listeners can hear my smile too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we are talking. I sort of had to sing that. Shoes. For me, I find guys and girls love shoes. They take us places.
Yeah.
They give us confidence.
Yeah.
I don't really see negatives, but I'm sure once we start talking, the shoes,
You
they're
know-
pretty, they're nice, they have a purpose.
Wow.
She's just like that guy in the car story that you said a while ago about how he didn't see negatives in the car, and his dad had to tell him, "Come on,
They're
this is."
shoes.
That's
I don't
that's
know.
right. That's right.
I knew.
You
I
know,
knew, I
and they
knew.
come in different shapes and colors, and what you like.
It's true.
And of course, we have the guys who love shoes too.
Of
So
course.
it's not just ladies,
The
it's
likewise,
also
the
guys.
I do love my shoes.
See?
I do have more than a few pairs of shoes.
So, today we're going to talk about shoes and our relationship with the shoes and animals and plants.
Yeah.
Not my favorite part of the conversation. And, shoes in terms of culture and countries and
Yeah.
what shoes mean there, how they influence the culture of the people. So, GB.
Is that our listeners had asked us to talk about, right? It's kind of funny.
Oh.
They
That's
have
true.
About,
That's true.
about 2 or 3 people or more had said, guys, talk about shoes, And come on, what's it about shoes? I love my shoes, actually. But one thing with me, then you'll see for 3 months, I might stick to one.
For 3
I might
months.
just stick to one.
My
And that's it.
goodness.
Just, and as long as it does the job, but I have them there. And, different colors. Again, the cultural part of it is that, when we wear, most often, because this will not apply to everyone, but when we wear our traditional clothes, right?
Yeah.
Quite often you want, colors to coordinate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want what my friends will refer to as riot
I'm taking that.
with some different colors
I'm
and
taking
mixing
that.
and that kind of thing. So, and that would be one of the reasons why we often go around, when we buy, shoes of different colors and things like that. But for me, a shoe has to be fun. You guys might have heard the stories of people that will basically go into meetings or go for interviews, and they will sit cross-legged, showing their well-polished shoes because
Yeah.
they want people to see that. So they're showing off their wristwatches and the shoes because they believe that the shoes are good. And
Definitely.
So for me, I love my shoes, but I'm not that crazy about shoes.
But you also said you have a lot of shoes.
I do have
Your
a lot.
closet is full of shoes.
I have a lot.
So.
So
I have
in
a
there
lot, and
somewhere.
There's
There's a lot.
you?
You mean you? What size are you?
I just want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a size 10. 10 and a half.
I'm 10.
Okay.
I'm 10.
He's
But-
waiting for his shoes.
No,
Right.
but he knows this. That culturally,
Yes.
when someone grows to a certain age,
Huh?
You're not the one buying for those younger ones. You're
Wait,
at a stage in your life.
What is this?
I'm sorry.
At a stage in your life, you buy for them, right? But when get to a certain age, it's not proper for you to keep buying. So they are the ones that will say, JB,
Let me-
how many shoes
I
do
don't
you
think
want
we're
this?
quite there yet.
No, I think this. I don't remember.
You don't remember that culture.
I don't know.
No,
I don't think we're quite there yet. Though.
No, we're not.
No.
We're not.
Maybe I'm speeding you up.
No,
Okay,
we're
then.
still. No need to rush to grow up.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
Take it a step at a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you're stepping out, step out in style.
Yeah.
Step
All right.
out.
So for those of you who are in love with shoes, what brought about the love? I know.
So before I share my love of shoes,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna share one of and I have somebody on a listener
Right.
that shared her love of her shoes and her reaction or what she thinks her shoes would be saying to her. So I'm sort of gonna read it out here.
Please, you have to.
So she says, I'm listening to this podcast and seriously taking a second look at all my I have some really high heel shoes that I wear despite the fact that my knees hurt whenever I put them on. you can already tell there's a love and
The pain and the beauty.
I imagine what they would tell me if they could talk. Something like she mentions a name here. I'm just not this exactly as it's written because it's written in pidgin.
Okay.
Broken English.
All right.
So she goes, Omobolale,
You mentioned her name already.
It's okay. There's no last name. it gives effects to the reading. Because I was gonna read it without the name, but I'm like, nah, I can't feel the full effect.
That's fine.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna start again.
All right.
She goes, Omobolale, you know they hear what? You don't know you are old now? And that's like the shoe telling her, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Take it easy, lady.
Still wearing it. At your age,
then-
you should be relaxing.
Yeah. And the shoe doesn't stop there. It goes to your knees. And you will be blaming us for your pain. Mm. That shoe has some sass.
It has some real sass.
That's so.
Right?
Woo!
That you contest for an election.
That shoe's a high heel for sure. Definitely.
And the funny part is, this is exactly what I think my shoes would tell me. Oh, let's not focus on that.
Gosh.
Those shoes. I find for me, with shoes, really, it's the extra confidence they give you, and you have to find the right one. Shoes, there's you can wear it in such a way that it loosens up and it gives you that comfort.
Yeah.
And then the sneakers, you can wear them anywhere, anytime. And the way the sneakers are done this day, they have that extra cushion on the inside, and it's like you're floating on pillows. Those dinner parties and those weddings, and you're trying to dance in them, and you're like, man, I look good in these shoes, but still they're killing me.
They hurt.
So, yeah.
That's interesting. You like what?
I have a lot of pairs of shoes as well. Like up to 15 plus pairs, different colors, sneakers.
You still wanted mine?
Yes, of course.
Ouch.
I need blue. I don't have blue yet. I have green, black, white, gray, white and orange. Burgundy. I have 2 burgundy pairs.
You don't have any with flowers?
It's hidden in a box somewhere.
Why
I've
is
got to
it
get it.
hidden?
I've got to get it. It was a gift and I forgot to open it. But I got to get it. I've got to get that one. Yeah, it has some flowers on it. It's like maybe light blue, yeah, maybe orange. Either way, I love the shoes. And to really touch upon JB said earlier about I think it's really about your personality. If you can take care of something on your feet, clean it, not have too many stains on it, and not wear it until the mouth's talking to you. It's separated. It's saying hello as you're walking. That knows how to keep themselves well. That knows how to treat themselves well, keep themselves well, but also keep those around you well. Give yourself that respect that you deserve, but give other people the respect that they deserve. The better, in my view, I might be wrong here, I rarely am. You feel,
Yeah.
but also I find that some cases the better you also treat inanimate objects and people around you.
It's true.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people, there's a saying in Yoruba language that the way you,
Oh yeah.
so hue being part of your, appearance when you walk in and that kind of thing. But, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, quite frankly. But fortunately, we live in real world where people would say, wow, he looks good. Uh, we want to make him the marketing man toward that. Yeah. So hopefully that individual will match it with the inward.
Yeah.
Wants to, so it doesn't become like, oh my God, he looked good, but you know what? He's got nothing else to offer. You know what I mean? So, so the bottom line is for me, when I look at, I have quite a lot. I still ask myself, why do I have all this? Like you just said, you have one that is in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's someone somewhere who doesn't even have shoes.
It's true.
You know what I mean? It's a teacher in the school, in Nigeria, and I went to see her there, and I saw, and I'm not kidding, almost 75% of the students in that school, elementary school, had no shoes on.
Really?
I'm telling you, what's going on here? And that's common across many countries, right?
Yeah.
Not just Nigeria. That was just an example. But I was like saying to myself, here was I with all those shoes, and what will it cost? Things that we can do sometimes, and that's not to say we should not enjoy our lives. And I'm not the type that would say, deprive yourself of some of the things that you need, but we should also care when we have too many. Some people are becoming minimalistic now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No, I can't be there.
I'm not there yet, but I think that's a good thing. Sometimes you ask yourself, do I really need all this? So as much as shoes are good, they're great, and sometimes we should ask ourselves, how many pairs do I need? Really need?
It's true. And JB, I've got to ask, your shoes, are they all leather? The many shoes that you have, how many cows? How many cows had to suffer for them to be kept in a closet? When you say you only spend what you spend your 3 months for one shoe. The pain is.
I know you mentioned my name in error. You really wanted to talk to. I know.
Oh no.
So that it's like
We'll get to her. We'll
I'm
get
gonna
to her.
I'm gonna need a lawyer to respond to that question.
Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
Yeah, but the bottom line is yes. Quite a number of the point is sometimes we don't pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I had friends who buy shoes. They were like snake skin, alligator skin, and things like that. That was what they would go for, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was very obvious. But that's not to say that when you buy shoes, that are cow skin, like you said,
Yeah.
quality. Then what do you do? Sometimes you don't even know which is which.
It's true.
You just buy, and then you get home, you are wearing it, you say, oh my God, how many cows? Them shoes.
Wow, there's so many puns. So many puns
So
today.
many.
So many. Yeah, it's true. I have a lot of pairs, but I think for my sneakers, they're less leather. They're more synthetic materials. Even the soccer shoe, I have maybe seven pairs, and then I have other shoes that are up in the 15 range.
Yeah.
And here I thought I had a lot of shoes.
Yeah, I know. But again, synthetic versus leather, right? I'm a geographer.
Mm-hmm.
So, nature, the world, just making sure that we're sustainable.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes, know that sustainability might not be at the forefront. So your shoes might be
Hey.
more leather than my shoes.
Hey, I
That's
studied international development.
Great.
So
And how many
sustainability is right there.
and how many leather shoes do you have?
None.
Huh?
Yeah,
Really?
none. I'm
Wow.
very, as much as I
Wow.
am made of,
You know, I am wrong.
very conscious.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
See? Yeah, you know, assumption.
I don't like them. They're cold.
You.
They're too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I don't see the point in it. If I'm going to enjoy something, so if I'm buying a $500 pair of shoe, every single time I bring that out of my closet,
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel guilty. What animal did I kill? How
That's
long can I
true.
wear it for?
it's not even you.
Where can I wear
It's the
it
shoe
to?
that'll be talking.
Yeah.
Be saying to you, are you gonna
Yeah.
You're still not wearing me.
that cow some far away country?
Yeah.
Move.
And my credit card too will be talking. After spending all that money and
Yeah.
taking all that amount from me, you're not using it? Really?
So yeah. So that's interesting, and I thank you to that,
Mm-hmm.
and so that we can sustain our
Sustainability. It's
sustainability.
true.
You know?
It's true. And you know, JB, the topic I really enjoy this topic because I mean I enjoy all our topics, but with shoes especially, we've gone and talked about how can be or might be, and you spoke about when you went to visit your family member that was a teacher at a school, and you saw that these kids didn't have shoes. Does this mean a lack of shoes automatically equals, poverty?
That's actually very interesting. I had a similar thought when JB was talking about, the kids going barefooted.
Yeah.
And mine was more, I know growing up, if you came to visit us in our house, you leave your shoes by the door.
Yeah.
So you walk around the house, you're coming to someone's house, you're not tracking mud in from outside. Whatever your shoe has stepped on, you're not bringing it into the house.
Yeah.
You're leaving the house as a clean place as it's meant to be
Right.
versus where you're coming out from,
Yeah, you're right.
right? And some places, I think, I'm not really sure if it's a cult, they consciously have house slippers by the door.
They do.
And even when I was here, I think I went to somebody's house and she was Asian, and she had house slippers right by the door. Guests, regular people who live in the house, or you're just popping and wear it in the house. You can't just
But even
say
even
you're
in Canada though.
yeah.
Generally,
The person I was visiting
yeah.
was in Canada here.
During winter, you don't want to
No.
shoes into
Yeah.
people's houses and
No.
that kind of thing. You can't do that. And we got used to that. That even summer when you go into people's house, you just take off your shoes.
Yeah.
You walk into their house, into the houses with barefoot.
You wear your shoes in.
Yeah, sure.
So that in itself is different in that sense.
Yeah, but it's different from when you see children.
Oh
Who-
no,
who
I'm
you-
not comparing.
Okay. Oh,
No,
I thought
no,
that
no,
was
no,
what you were
no,
doing.
no, no.
Yeah.
I was just saying that came to mind. But like Dolapo was saying, we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, not having those shoes equals a lack of having enough.
Right.
Basic
Because
necessity.
imagine what those kids are stepping on just to go to school and
Yeah.
get that education.
Right.
It's not all tiled. Imagine if they were here now and in winter and they had to walk barefooted. And it's because they have no choice.
Even the self-confidence. Okay. Think about children from those kind of schools being asked to go, compete against students from other schools where they have everything.
More affluent, yeah.
They have to look at you and kind of judge you,
Yeah.
judge a book by the cover,
Yeah.
which is very unfortunate. And so the confidence those children is taking their beat, right from the younger days. And so for me, right? And when you walk to a place and they have no shoes, they have no proper uniform, and that kind of thing, they're struggling, then you're asking yourself, they even had breakfast,
Yeah.
Mm.
you know? So I think, for leaders, if the Black Walk will have, you see some leaders that have hundreds,
A house full.
house full of
Oh
shoes,
yeah.
and they're not even thinking about those in their constituents who don't have those kind of shoes. So I think the world, we all need to, and I'm not saying people should not buy shoes, but if you're not using a pair of shoes and it's been sitting there for like 3, 4, 5 years, means that you don't need it, quite frankly.
It's true.
And so give them out to someone who might need it.
Yeah.
That person that has an interview to go to but doesn't have anything to dress up, and you're basically making a positive difference in their lives. So that's what I think some shoes will be saying as they're sitting in that closet. That your flowery
it's
shoes,
true. It's
very
so
shoe.
Meant to use. I can give somebody confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I'm lonely.
Me in this room.
You forgot me.
so what's going on?
It's true, actually. Yeah, I've got to donate, and I really like donating things I have.
Yeah.
Shoes, phones, whatever it is I have. Yeah, shoes have to be. I really like that, right? I really like that. And speaking to government, I might not have breakfast. At least use that shoe budget, give it to the kids.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, that is true. And then we also need to think about some of those shoes that we wear. The expensive shoes are made in some of the third world on nothing.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, and when those shoes get here, they're sold for a lot of money.
Sweatshops.
So yeah, sweatshops, child labor, all those kind of stuff. So we should be conscious about that as well, and say, how can I make a difference, and how can I support a lot of what they speak. So it's very important. Christmas time, New Year, or a couple of times people should just see what they have they can give out to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I look at shoes. So I have them. I give them out. But just for me, I want to look good. I try to look good when I'm going out.
You look good all the time.
I don't know.
You look good all the time.
I do my best. So I do my best. Our listeners cannot see me now. I'm blushing already. But that's fine.
Thing for me is, I remember the first, within the first 2 years when I got to Canada, I had a shoe that I really loved, and the soles were gone.
Oh.
And the first thing I thought of was, where can I find? Nope, not even that. Soles of the shoe.
Yeah.
I find it, and after how many years now, that has not never come to mind again, because I couldn't find anybody.
Yeah.
The next option is either
so you
that
moved
shoe
on.
goes out the bin, or
You abandoned this shoe. You abandoned it.
I send a lot of my shoes back home. Make that an art.
Yeah.
They can
the
change,
cobblers. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can change not just the sole, but even the way the shoe looks. They change the leather to make it shiny again, and somebody gets a use out of it.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a car with the engine.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. It's true. Years ago, when I was in the shoes, and it's like, hey, I like your shoes. So yeah, sure, you can have them. I just give it to him, and again, I always bring like 4 pairs of shoes whenever I travel. So,
Yeah.
but not with the idea of like I'm gonna always give out things, but when I do have and I see that someone else has, sure, have it. Yeah, you have to. On the topic of, I'm just gonna jump back and forth here because this is so interesting to me. On the topic of the shoes that are made in sweatshops or in areas that just where it's bad, cheap labor, shoes, and recently a lot of companies have been doing this now. Shoes that are made from recyclable products and things like that, whether bottles or whatever else, 3D printed soles and things that are now also marked up at a crazy number. The way I see it is that even though now we're doing a good thing, we're getting rid of newer materials, is the price justified? Is a highly cloth shoe, a shoe made of pure cloth that just has maybe a thin wrapping of a thin plastic around it to give it some shape, and then put a sole at the bottom? Is that more than the shoe that was made in with child labor? Something I've seen is something I don't understand. Why mark up a shoe now that is made sustainably so much more, $400, versus 3 years ago where they should.
From, right? But one thing to note is when it comes to those sweatshops and those materials used to create those shoes,
Yeah.
there was abundance of the material,
Mm.
abundance of the labor that they were using at a cheaper cost. So production, bringing back memories.
I love it.
So that's abundance. They were made in such a way, and there's so many resources that they could use to make those things at a much cheaper cost than the sustainable materials. So the cost of recycling the bottle,
Mm-hmm.
it's sad,
Yeah.
but that's the reality.
It's higher than the
It's
cost.
higher than the cost of getting a kid somewhere to make those shoes.
Now, let's not flip it to humans. We now It's harder to recycle something to make something new. Do we now say, or could you now say that they already have making it good again? It's harder for them to do that than to
Yeah.
go out and
I agree.
right.
Yes, it is. Totally. It's much easier to say you want to just quit something and just leave and just, I can't fix it, so I'm just going to leave it and go get something new.
Yeah.
It's
And fix it.
and fix it till it works.
Yeah.
It's like saying, okay, I want to start a new project, but you're already thinking of all the negatives, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to work out. Before you even started, you've already discouraged yourself. And just because there are a lot of relationship is,
It's gonna
same.
be the
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be the same as what you just had.
So the relationship that you walk on, 3 years, you have a bumpy road, but you stick to it.
Yeah.
In 10 years, that relationship is more precious than if you say you're in a relationship another year, you move, another one. You never truly get to experience good and the bad of those relationships.
And you're wasting resources.
Yeah.
So if I was going to ask both of you or relate to your response now. So I have a pair of shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not 2-3 years, and I'm thinking it's gonna get better. I seem to be keep wearing it. It's gonna get better, and the way I keep doing that, it's not. Not getting better. I decide to change it and get something that at least at that moment. Friendship thing, yes, the 3 year period you've mentioned, been in that, and it's not working. Doing everything, it's not working. So rather than hanging there for 10 years, you said I might not make if I continue to be in that relationship.
Yeah.
So just like I did with the shoe.
My response to that,
Yes,
you tried, didn't you?
I tried.
You tried several times. You put your leg in those shoes. You
tried.
endured the pain.
Yeah.
Now you know next time what size you're looking for, what shape you're looking for. It's still influenced. Like what Dolapo is talking about is a situation whereby you don't even try, you don't even put in the effort,
Right.
and you just change it.
I saw something that's better. I said, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
moving on.
You don't learn anything from that.
Right.
Like for me, when I buy new shoes, if they're tight, the first thing I do is I sit in them. We all know about shoes. They stretch out.
They do.
They get comfortable with the shape of your leg. But if you don't wear them, you don't get the opportunity for the shoe to do that.
How about just returning it?
Why would I? It's a perfectly good shoe.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking.
Get a new size.
Yeah, I just say, you know what? That's not what. It's not my right size. I'm sorry. I have to return it, and you move
Yeah.
on.
That
Right?
actually reminds me of a story. My mom once traveled she went for studies, and this was Italy, and we all know Italian shoes,
Oh yeah.
right? It wasn't leather, but it was like this glossy feet from outside the shoe.
Yeah.
And it was just like a really new shoe in that time. And she bought it, and it was a size too small.
Mm.
That was
Ouch.
painful.
Yeah.
I tried it on. I was like, okay, just give me a day. After trying it on, obviously, I could tell from the instance I put my foot. But what did I do? She was like, okay, so what do you want me to do? I'm like, I want you to give this to somebody. I gave it to someone. But at the same time, I had a day with the shoe. It was just up on my table, and I just looked at it. I'm like, oh my, my, my.
I'm gonna miss you.
The places
Well,
the shoe could.
But then again, relate that to relationships, because again, things on relationships we talk about. So sometimes what I got from that is that sometimes right away that this relationship is not right for you.
Yeah.
And rather than sticking there and saying that, I'm gonna try conversation and say, you know what, I think we should just part ways. And there's somebody out there for you.
Yeah.
And for me, there's someone out there as well. You know what I mean? That was exactly what you did with the shoes, right?
Yeah.
Give it out to someone else who will appreciate it or will make use of it.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Is that the Gucci loafers, right? Size 10? Right?
You can take them.
Pass
Pass them on.
Just pass them on.
Yeah, it's time to let go.
From an older brother to a younger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's time to let go.
Yeah.
Time to let go. I will have a conversation with the Hughes,
Yeah.
because Hughes into consideration. Sometimes Hughes might also say, you know what? Even though you are not really using me right now, but I like you. I like your home, and I want to be your friend. I want to be here. Okay, not for the purpose that you got me. I like the heating system in your home. I like where you put me. Don't give me $2 more, because
I don't know how it will treat me. He might forget me.
He's gonna forget me.
In his closet.
Then it's gonna start giving me examples.
That's
Remember
funny.
that one with with flour. That's it. You see better than him.
Man.
That's
I
it.
shot myself in the foot.
Yeah, you did. So let's just leave that shoe out of the discussion,
Wow.
because that's what he's gonna say. You know what I mean?
It's
And,
true.
something else. I think I know what's to homes in some places. And have you ever also heard or thought about situations where people place their shoes, or what they do with their shoes, had caused relationship problems? Cleans the house all the time, or your partner or your friend or your roommate, the one that is cleaning the house all the time. But you come, the shoes, boom. Talk about it first time, say okay, he or she is speaking after you all the time. Then after some time, it becomes a problem. Situations?
Yeah, I've actually had a situation a few years ago when I was living with some roommates, very close friends of mine, and we'd always clean after each other. But there's one person, she was sort of a minimalist, but also she just liked stuff, which made no sense. So maybe she just wanted the space for herself. But I digress here. In the front, we had a place to put our shoes, and I'd say two of my, I think 15 pairs I had at the time. Two of my two pairs in the front, and I had my other pairs in my room. And I said, it's clean, yeah, but where are my shoes? She goes, oh, aren't you happy? Like, clean the condo, everything looks great, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, thank you. Where are my shoes? Oh, I moved them to your room. Oh, okay, thank you. Why? Why'd you move them to my room? Well, because I just wanted to clean. I'm like, yeah, but they're not your two different colors, so when I go out, why did you take them? So that right there created a fight, right? On shoes. On my shoes. But she was doing something nice. Right? So I looked past the nice thing that shoes and put them somewhere else. Yeah, my room, but I have a way I like things. Yeah. I didn't ask you to do that, yeah.
That's interesting.
I think it's sort of, with that, it's more of she went into your personal space.
That's the way you look at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. Is that okay? Well, again, that's a good example of friction.
Yeah.
Things like that cause friction within families and stuff like that, and it's cleaning after people.
Yeah.
Cleaning after people. It builds frustration, and if you don't pay attention, why do you always do it?
Yeah.
And for those who and that story is It's a good one. But I also have one. When a family, I had a situation. I had a like just like the lap.
Yep.
House's shoes, like I know too, and you always have them, well put, polished, and everything. And they were having issues, relationship issues. And one day, we went to half.
Oh.
She went after the shoe.
She wanted half of his stuff, literally.
They were all cut into half.
She
And
knew where it will hurt,
I
and
was,
she
that
went
was,
after it.
What?
he went, he was angry. And so, shoe wall,
The shoe.
and
Wow.
Yeah.
it was pretty bad. But again, it brings me to something we talk about a lot. This program, which is basically controlling our own emotion.
Yeah.
Going and going, I'm gonna go after him, breath. That's myself. That doing this, what would I gain from this, right? And sadly, that was one of the things that led to the collapse of the relationship. Because he just could not understand. Just like you were not too happy. And your
Yeah.
shoes were moved. Think about those shoes being cut into half. Because relationship issues,
Yeah.
if not handled properly.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
My story is sort of different from what both of you have said, right? I heard of the story where a lady, she still wore high shoes, like heels. So that extra boost was like, it went with the whole ensemble, the
Yeah.
suit, the skirt, the shoes, and that was her. She had a lot of shoes, and she loved them. And then she started going out with a guy who was much shorter. I feel like I'm looking up at you,
Right.
right? And that, like, it was a whole discussion of, you need to start wearing flats, or would I keep having to look up at you? And she had to reach a compromise of, if they're going out together, she wore flats,
Oh wow.
right?
That's love.
Wow.
That's true love.
But when she's going to work, she got to wear her
Yeah.
heels.
Nobody was
So
looking up to her.
nobody was looking up to her.
That's compromise.
But there's that. How much do you think that conversation went before it finally reached that state of compromise? For somebody who loves
So you're looking at, your love of shoes versus your partner's. Is it ego? Is
Yeah.
it respect?
Confidence.
Confidence,
for
right?
some, yeah.
Yeah, for some,
And
yeah.
that height might be a real touchy issue for some.
Yeah.
Yeah. That can be a relationship breaker.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Easy. What we've been saying really, that there's always room for discussion. There's always room for compromise. And to talk about things and say, you know what? In any relationship, you cannot have things your way 100%.
Definitely.
So how do we meet in the middle? Great example. I'm sure so many of our listeners will be thinking and saying, it's you. What have you cost me? And I'm sure different people will have different experiences out with shoes, And when in Nigeria, I had one pair of shoes of like slip-on sandal.
Oh.
And that was all I had for the whole year, because I was so broke I couldn't even afford, anything more than that. Stores and anything.
Yeah.
With some of these roadside guys that will make shoes and they will make it and put some nice leather and everything, but it was well done. It was very strong, and of course it has to be strong. Because I made it. I made
Law
it.
student
I made it
will be
clear that
working.
this is I have to use this for was shoe polish.
Yeah.
Some nice black shoe polish. So every day I wake up,
shiny.
very shiny and everything. And quite frankly, when I have discussions with some of my friends that I went to law school with, and I would say, "You remember that I only had one pair?" They would say, "No, I don't remember," because nobody really knew. Because of the way even when we don't have a lot, whatever we have, we should take care of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and we should carry ourselves with some air of confidence, and knowing fully well that whatever we lack does not define us. We put our focus on where we're going, because for you that doesn't have you only have like a pair of shoes today. You work hard and you focus on where you're going, you're gonna be able to afford more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, yes.
Yeah. And yeah.
You know, and
That's a question I'm not gonna answer.
and I feel like I've been picked on this entire episode because I have the shoes that are hidden in the box. How many like you have a lot, and you wear all of them. What will your shoes say about you?
Thank you for the time you've used me.
Even
I try to wear them. Break.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
So have you really learned anything? Even you mentioned COVID now, all the pairs of shoes you have and everything, they're just sitting there, and
Well, I have hope that one day the parties are gonna come back and those shoes are gonna go to.
They're gonna see the light again.
Yeah.
The limelight.
So temperature of my house. They like the way I keep them.
Or do you have a conversation with them from time to time to say, you know what, I know you are here. I have not forgotten you.
I'm not gonna answer that.
No,
Joe,
you
because
have
then
to.
it's gonna seem like yeah, I do talk to the light.
Yeah.
I do change around the spacing of my shoes.
Really?
Once in a while, just placed one where I can see it, and I'm like, I can see you. You're going out one day. I know that.
Unlike some people.
Yeah. The way the Lapa talks to his cars.
Yes.
I talk to my shoes.
Yeah.
But for the shoes, that's when he mentioned, Dolakwa had said, the kids and the wife.
Yeah.
The shoe is forgotten.
No.
You forgot the shoes.
The shoe is forgotten.
Then I've got to change the ranking system, because then what about my phone? Then you have your clothes, and then the top. I mean,
There are too many things to wear.
there's so many.
Wow.
There's so many.
Like, the one thing about life is when you are in a relationship with someone, you hardly think about, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, when we're talking about shoe now, even though you have cars, you have laptop, you have everything, the shoe is saying, look, it's not about them. What do I mean to you? So
Focus on me right now.
Yeah, so focus on me. It's about
Yeah.
me. So it's same thing with relationship. Dad, my sister, my uncle, this and that.
About me.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think you need to consider the shoes and say to the shoe, you're important to me,
Yeah.
right?
You're right.
So I'm glad
shoes can give you confidence.
Yep.
They can take you places.
Definitely.
They can make or break your relationship depending on where you place them, how you view them.
Mm-hmm. They support you. They let you step on the right path.
things that could have happened to your
Winter shoes.
winter shoes, especially.
Winter boots. Those guys are rugged and,
My God, I'm wearing them not and they're warm.
Yeah, so they protect you, and even people that had got into trouble, they want to keep very handy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But wherever, it's not about how many you have.
Yeah.
It's about how well
How well you use them, how you keep them.
you keep them.
Yeah,
It's
just
important.
like your relationships, like your friendships.
Yes,
right? It's not about how many friends you have. It's really about how do you.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one, because we can have many, many friends, and we might not necessarily care.
Yeah, that's true.
So, oh, he's my friend, and wow, when's the last time you cared? Okay, so nurture it.
Wow.
Great stuff.
Wow. That's hours.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
No. Again, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us, joining us today, talking about shoes, Anu's favorite subject, also my favorite subject. And please join us again. Before we go on, Anu, please, anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna remember, and you can go to Spotify. Just search for JB and Things,
JB
and
and
you're
Things.
gonna find us. We're waiting to hear your comments as well. Send us another awesome story, like Omobolanle has sent us.
Please.
Right.
Giving away her name, but like we said, there are a lot of Omobolanles. Send us awesome stories of what you think or conversation to talk about them. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I think we have a lot more. Just
YouTube.
yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
We take comments there too. So drop your comments. Send us a story you want to share, and thank you for listening in again.
Thank you. We'll see you in the next one.
All right. Okay, guys.